Guys, so that is the end of this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some tips on how exactly you can use the Dyson, especially if you feel like you've been struggling with getting it to make your hair look like the way that you've been seeing everybody else use it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda Rose, and in today's video I am going to be showing you how I style my hair using the Dyson Airwrap. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm always boasting about the Dyson, how smooth and beautiful it makes my hair look. And so since a lot of the people on Instagram have requested that I film this video, I figured why not, and then share it also on YouTube. Now, a couple of things that I want you guys to know. One, when I first bought the Dyson, I assumed, oh, this is going to make my hair faster to style. Since having it for over a year, that is not what the Dyson has done for me. The Dyson has made my hair easier to style, but not necessarily faster, especially now that my hair is pretty much down to my waist. It just makes it so much easier to get a blowout look versus having to use both of my hands for a blowout, which is how I have done my hair since like the beginning of time. But the Dyson has really made my hair styling so much easier, and so I wanted to just get on here and show you guys how exactly I do style my hair with the Dyson. So my hair is freshly washed. It is semi, like almost fully air dried, but it definitely has some weight to it. I did not want it to air dry all the way, and so here are some of the things that I'm going to use. I always use these hair clips. I use them after I'm done with a particular part of my hair. I do like to pin it up. The thing is with the Dyson, because it doesn't use this extreme amount of heat, your curls do fall, and especially with my long hair, they're weighed down. So I do like to put this in my hair right after, just so that it can kind of cool in that particular position. Something else I want to show you is also this, I guess, Loma smoothing cream. I use this particularly towards my ends, again, just to help my hair hold a curl or hold some type of form. My hair is thin, although it looks like I have a lot of it, my hair is very thin, and it doesn't really hold a style very easily. So I like putting some of this towards the mids and ends of my hair so that it can kind of hold a little bit of the curl. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you guys the process. As I said, it's not the most quickest form to blow out my hair, but it is the system where I get the most beautiful blowout, and also it is much easier than if I used a blow dryer and a brush. Okay, so now that I moved you back, hopefully that helps. I'm going to take the smallest amount of this because again, my hair is thin, and this is what I'm going to use for my entire head. So I'm gonna just put it in my fingers, work it in all the way so that it's evenly distributed. And I'm just going to look in my mirror and get it towards the mids. It's better to do this when your hair is damp so that you can distribute it through your hair as best as possible. But my hair is already drying. Okay, perfect. Now let's tie up the hair. Okay, so I start with two different attachments. The first attachment is the round brush attachment that I'm going to use to just smoothen my hair and also get it a little dry. Then when I'm done with this attachment, I'm going to use the thinnest barrel in order to make sure that I get the curl that I want on my hair. So I do feel like I'm still quite close to the camera, so I'm going to try to move you guys back even further just so you can see the end of my hair. Gonna get started again. Like I said, I'll show you the bottom styling, and then I'm gonna do the rest like off camera, and then I'll come back for the top. By the way, I have it on the highest setting, fastest wind speed, and the hottest. Left side. Okay, so now you can see the difference in how smooth and how straight my hair looks just from using this particular attachment. Now I will say with the Dyson, this attachment will probably work so well on shorter hair to get like a cute little bounce, but because my hair is so long, this is just, I don't know, it just doesn't work. I would need something a little bigger in order to really get something that seems nice and voluminous. So now that my hair is almost fully dried, it's like barely damp. Now I'm gonna move in with the other attachment. So again, I like to use the smallest one out of the two. I used to use the bigger one to get like looser curls, but they fall and it ends up looking the same. So I like to use a thinner one because I know that it'll hold the curl for a lot longer. Now for this particular part, I like to section the bottom in two pieces because I don't like the hair to be too thick. So I'm gonna section it, and then I am going to hold it so that the curl goes inward, almost like if you were blowing your hair and you wanted the curl to be in, like come in towards your face. So that's what I'm gonna do. Make sure that my attachment is turned on the right way. If not, I'll spin it and then you'll see. And again, I'm sure this would be so much easier if your hair was shorter, but my hair is just so long. So sometimes I like to twist it to get it fully in there, but it's good. I count to about 10 seconds. Not sure how long it's been because I've been talking, and then I'll let it out. Okay, I always like to turn it off before I let it go. I've seen some people leave it on and then they get this really big spiral curl, but I've tried both and I don't like the way it looks. So I'm just gonna release it, and that's what it looks like. Put it to the back, let it cool, bring this one in. And just adjust the hair, you know? I feel like some people, when they watch Dyson videos, they're like, it's not taking, it's a tool that, you know, it's not perfect. Sometimes you just gotta help it out. Granted, it's like 600 bucks, so you want it to do everything for you, but at the end of the day, you're working with your hair, you need to manipulate the tool, you know? Okay, I'm gonna take the two pieces. I don't have my mirror fully next to me, so it's gonna be hard. But then I just take the hair, wrap it. This part doesn't have to be perfect. Every time I do it, it falls, it hangs. The goal is really just to make sure that your ends are tucked in, you know, in some way, shape, or form. That works for me. You just don't want your ends to be falling out. Let me see. Yeah, that's fine. And now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the rest of my hair. I do all the pieces in, okay? I do all the pieces in until I get to the top. That's when I do everything going backwards. So same exact process that you've seen. I split my hair into multiple pieces. I am going to switch this because remember I started with the round brush attachment and just go through the whole process. I'll speed up some of it, but I'm not gonna be filming for like 40 minutes. So you'll see some of it. Okay, so now we're at the top. The top for me is probably the hardest as far as the top back, just because of how long my hair is there. And I keep mentioning the length of my hair because this is the longest that I've ever had it. So I am definitely adjusting and learning how to kind of mess with my hair at this length. I'm going to start with the round brush attachment, but I'm going to use it as if it were, you know, just me blowing it out. So I'm gonna blow out forward and I'm gonna try my best to kind of get on top and also under when I blow out this back piece, because I've noticed that when this piece is not dried correctly, it really does ruin your hair, because this is what people see in the back. And so it's harder for you because you're like, oh, I've worked so hard on the front pieces, but from the back, you know, you want your blowout to look good in every direction. So definitely don't get lazy, push through the tiredness, and really focus on drying out the hair to the best of your ability and smoothing it with this brush. So now I want to make sure that this part here is really, really brushed out and smooth. This looks crazy. And this time I'm blowing my hair back as opposed to forward. So I never really remember the attachment and how it works. I just wait and see what happens. Yep, was it the other way? So doing it with the bigger attachment, this would be so much easier, but I want the small one. Okay, I'm gonna just slide it out. Try to keep it where it's at. And then just take my clip and hold it there. All right. And you guys already know the rest of the process. Taking decent sections. I will say that with the top, I don't go as thin because I want it to, I don't know, look a little more bouncy, even though this is the section of your hair that you want to obviously pay attention to because it's what people will see the most, right? You want to really dedicate time here. All right, I'm gonna split this piece into two because I want the very, very front to really make sure that it's blown out fully. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is set this one aside and then I'm going to hold both together because it's just too much hair. So this is gonna cool and then I'm gonna do my final piece. Okay, I am done. This looks crazy, I know, but if you've ever tried to pin your hair at home, you know that this is just how it ends up looking. My goal is that no end pieces are kind of hanging out. So this is kind of happening there, but for the most part, it's still holding its curl. So I think I'm good. I'm going to wait, let this cool completely, give it about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to let it out. I'll check in with you guys when it's time to let out these clips. All right, so it's been about 7 to 10 minutes and I want to take this out. So I am going to start with the pieces that we did first. All right, so you guys saw that. Again, just be careful with the clips. You don't put them in correctly, that's gonna happen, but as long as you're not tugging on your hair, you're fine, you know? So this is pretty much what the hair is looking like before I kind of like fuss with it, mess with it, put my fingers through it so that I can see the full blowout look. Piece of hair in my eye, yep. Okay. A lot of volume. Put my finger. Okay, so I must admit there's two things I usually do here. One, I will kind of just like scope the hair out. How exactly is it looking? You know, you have to form it and that's okay. I think right now it's actually looking really good. So sometimes if I pin my hair odd, then I will have to like go back in and I'll take this and I'll just like go over the top, because sometimes you pin it wrong and you can get a dent in your hair, or just like, you know, sometimes it falls weird. So you really just have to check and see what your hair is looking like once you take it out of the clips. Right now, I'm actually like very satisfied. I think it looks really, really pretty. And again, it's very, very bouncy. So if you want, you know, you can kind of run your fingers through your hair to loosen it up a bit, but I promise you it loosens up on its own. And if this is something where you're like, I don't want to have them so bouncy right away, then you can use the thicker attachment. Remember, I used the smallest one that would normally be meant for shorter hair. So because I used the smallest one, my curls are going to be tighter, but it's going to drop. But right now, I love it. I think I'm gonna leave it just like this, because again, it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna fall. It's going to like do whatever it wants. It's going to form. So I'm actually going to leave this, but yep. So that's pretty much it. If again, you were unhappy with your hair, you can go back and use the round brush. I guess, let me just show you what I mean, okay? But this for me is like, this is it. This is exactly what I would want my hair to look like once I take it out of there, and it looks great. But I'll show you what I would do is I would just take the front here, just the top, because you'll see that, you know, if you get a dent underneath, it doesn't matter, nobody sees that. But I would normally just take the top and go like this through it. And almost use it like a round brush. And then just like re-let it out, you know? And then that also kind of like straightens some of it. So if you feel like the top for you is like too bouncy, then you see how that just like kind of eased it a little bit. The curls aren't as like heavy now, and it looks even more like a blowout. I don't know. I love it. I think it looks great. I also don't have like a full-length mirror in front of me, so I can't see every little part, but from what I can see with the mirror that I have here and then my viewfinder, I think it looks beautiful. So I am going to turn around and show you what the back looks like. You guys, so that is the end of this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some tips on how exactly you can use the Dyson, especially if you feel like you've been struggling with getting it to make your hair look like the way that you've been seeing everybody else use it. Then definitely try these particular tips that I've used in the video. And that's pretty much it. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.